nanoparticles clearly state on their safety data sheets, these are not for human and not for veterinary use. These are for research purposes only, yet they went into 5 billion people around the world. Next, please. As Dr. Malone mentioned, this synthetic RNA persists out of Stanford. Dr. Rolking study, at least 2 months later, the RNA was still present, the synthetic RNA. Next, please. Dr. Brogna out of Italy recently proved the synthetic spike protein, at least 6 months later, was still circulating in human beings. Next, please. The spike protein is the Swiss Army knife of harm. Next, please. Next, please. This is from Dr. Moritz out of Germany, accumulating in the brain, the spike protein after injection. Next, please. From Dr. Burkhardt, the late great Dr. Burkhardt. This is in the brain tissue. Anybody hear of brain fog? This is the spike protein where it does not belong, crossing the blood-brain barrier after vaccination. Next, please. Peripheral nerves. This is from my laboratory. We proved it in the peripheral nerve, that burning after the shot, where it hones to the myelin, it hones to where it should go. Next, please. Organ damage, and I don't mean the church organ. Next, please. It accumulates in the liver. Absolutely. Causes damage within hours. Next, please. More. Hepatitis in the liver after these injections. Next, please. Autoimmune disease is rampant in studies around the world. Next, please. We knew in 2005 with SARS-CoV-1, if we used that whole spike protein, we would induce harmful immune inflammatory responses. This has been known in science for decades. Next, please. Of course, we hear about myocarditis. This is inflammation in the heart. Next, please. This is spike protein in the heart. On the right, that is persistent mRNA in the heart tissues. Next, please. Dr. Nakahara out of Japan recently proved that 6 months later, every patient in that study that had the vaccine versus the unvaccinated still had abnormal findings on PET scan, abnormal uptake in the heart tissue 6 months after the previous injection. Next, please. Next, please. It also accumulates in your very important adrenal glands. Next, please. It also attacks the elastic fibers of the body. That's what holds your tissues together. This is in the skin, destroying the elastic fibers of the skin. Next, please. Reproductive harms, as Dr. Malone mentioned. Next, please. This is spike protein in the placenta, where it does not belong after vaccination. Next, please. This is spike protein, all those brown dots in the uterine lining. Next, please. This is spike protein in the testes. Studies out of Israel show decreased sperm counts, decreased sperm motility. These are all things everybody should have known before one shot went into one human. That would have been informed consent. Next. Because of the activity of this spike protein and mRNA and this gene sequence, it changes the ability of our body to react to other infections. Next, please. Dr. Fossa out of the Netherlands showed how it messes up that critically important T-cell immune response. It alters our innate immune system, weakening our ability to react to other pathogens. Next, please. The clot thickens. Let's see how the clot thickens. Next, please. It certainly causes small vessel damage. Next, as you can see the brown dots here, that's spike protein, lining the vessels of the body. Wherever that lipid went, those cells can make this toxic protein, blows those vessels apart. Next, please. It also destroys large vessels. Next, please. Here you see an aorta of an individual that passed. This is from Dr. Burkhardt's series. I have a large series in my lab. That spike protein gets into the wall and destroys those vessels and can cause sudden death. Next, please. And here you see the spike protein in the walls of those large vessels. Next, please. You can also see it in the coronary vessels. Why do we have an increase in coronary events and coronary disease now? After the rollout of these shots statistically around the world. Ask yourself that. Next, please. It also causes an abnormal type of protein to accumulate in the blood, an amyloid-like protein. Next, please. Here we see postmortem clots that are unusual. This is that type of protein. Next, please. We also see it in the living. This individual is lucky enough to be alive after a thrombectomy and have the clot pulled out. Next, please. It blinds the immune system, as Dr. Gleesh said, so we can't recognize future variants. Next, please. It also causes tolerance. You do not want to tolerate a pathogen. Next. If you increase your IgG4, then you suppress your immune system. Then you're tolerant to future variants of whatever pathogen, in this case SARS. Going forward, why do those patients continue to get more infections? Because they have the wrong type of antibodies. We've heard antibodies for years now. Antibodies, schmantibodies. There are good ones, there are bad ones. These are bad ones. And it also decreases your tumor surveillance. Next, please. I'm a beekeeper. I want to be tolerant to allergens. I don't want to be tolerant to pathogens. Next, please. Next. All right. Monster in the room, cancer. Next.